92. East becomes West. Author's POV. Sometimes, fighting for what you want is necessary, but accepting the truth with an optimistic mind is always the best path life offers. Congratulations, Virat said, handing the bouquet to Lavanya. She stared at him, her mouth slightly open, eyes wide with shock. Jackie too was silent, his gaze fixed on Virat. Virat didn't take his eyes off Lavanya, making her blink rapidly. The couple felt uneasy, their nerves evident, while their colleagues, those who knew their story, watched, anticipating something unexpected. "Why is he here?" one of D. Dawson's employees whispered to another. "No idea. I can't even guess what's going through his mind right now," the second replied. "Maybe he's here for revenge?" A third voice joined in. The first two men shot him a sideways glance. "Really? With a bouquet of flowers?" One of them scoffed, rolling his eyes. "How can you be so sure those flowers aren't poisonous? Or that there's not a snake inside? Or even a bomb?" the third guy suggested dramatically. The other two turned their heads toward him, frowning. "Are you nuts?" "What? Don't you guys watch the news?" He shrugged, shifting his gaze between them. "Poison? A snake? A bomb? And Virat, sir? Do you even realize which of these is the odd one out?" one of them questioned. Snake?" he guessed uncertainly. The first guy sighed. "Seriously? Well, a snake is a living creature, but poison and bombs aren't," he reasoned with a shrug. Both of them rolled their eyes. "Virat Oberoi. But he's the one who brought the bouquet to take revenge," he began again. "Oh, shut up." They cut him off before he could finish. "I knew this would happen one day," Sudha said anxiously. "Relax, Sudha. He's just here to congratulate them," Lalit reassured her. "How can you be so sure? You can't read people that well," she expressed her concern. "Please, Sudha, calm down. This is Lavanya's big day. We're at her reception. Try to look happy or she'll start worrying too. She's our only child," her husband reasoned, reminding her that this was the final event of the wedding celebrations. "And that's exactly why I'm worried. Because she's my only child. I don't want anyone to hurt her," Sudha explained, her voice laced with motherly concern. "Shh, just wait. We're here for her. I won't let anything happen to her," Lalit assured his wife. "You look absolutely beautiful, as always," Virat complimented Lavanya, completely ignoring Jackie's presence. Lavanya hesitated before shifting her eyes toward her husband. Then she murmured, Thank you, sir." "Yeah, I'll always be your Virat, sir," he said with a faint smirk. "Whenever you need me, just call. I'll be there for you. As your college friend, office friend, and every other kind of friend." Lavanya felt a wave of emotion, while Jackie stood beside her, feeling awkward. Then, Virat took a step toward Jackie and extended his hand. "Congratulations, Mr. Dawson." No one had expected this, not even Jackie himself. He stared at Virat for a few seconds before shaking his hand. "Thanks for coming, Virat. I really appreciate that." "Wait," Virat interrupted, withdrawing his hand. "I'm not here for you. I'm here for her, for my friend Lavanya." He gestured toward her as the room remained eerily silent. "You and I," he continued, his voice firm, "can never be friends. You are still my enemy and my ruthless boss. There is no other relationship possible between us. Do you understand that, Mr. Jackie Dawson?" Jackie blinked, then blinked again, and then kept blinking, staring at Virat in disbelief. "Didn't get me?" Virat asked, smirking. "In simple words, I still hate you from the bottom of my heart, and that will never change." Lavanya, her husband, her friends, her parents, colleagues, and in-laws, all of them furrowed their brows at Virat's words, confused, amused, and utterly baffled. "I tobadas walabam fodne ayahai," Balram mumbled under his breath. "What?" James, standing beside him, frowned, still fixated on the tense exchange between the couple and Virat. "Oyapaji, mine topele hibolyasi." Out of nowhere, The guy who had earlier insisted Virat's bouquet was dangerous shoved his head between James and Ballroom. Ballroom and James jumped at his sudden entry, startled. Ballroom immediately scolded him. Filhal to mainu tera mubom jaisa dik rahahai, hat pare. The guy winced, glanced at James, then silently backed away to where he had been standing before. I think Virat sir is drunk, one of his colleagues whispered. He doesn't drink, his friend replied. Heartbreak makes people do strange things. Either this is his first time or he has way too much guts to talk to Mr. Jackie Dawson like that, the first one speculated. Ballroom overheard the conversation and shook his head in disbelief. Cody Kahin Ke. What? James frowned at him again. Ballroom huffed. Oya, James sir. Sorry, I cannot translate that. He was so irritated that he stormed off, mumbling to himself. I need lassi. Before James could respond, Ballroom was already gone. Sorry I couldn't attend the wedding, Lavanya, Virat said, his voice unusually calm. I couldn't bear to watch you become someone else's, especially his. Jackie's eyes narrowed. Lavanya swallowed hard, shifting her gaze awkwardly. But now that you already are his, Virat continued, glancing at Jackie, I will pray and wish for your happiness. Jackie clenched his jaw. Lavanya didn't know where to look. You won, Mr. Jackie Dawson, Virat added, nodding at him. You got her. She's yours now. Then, without another word, he stepped down from the stage and walked straight toward the exit. The way he had appeared and left, it felt like a surreal nightmare to everyone in the hall. Bloody dickhead, Jackie muttered under his breath, glaring at the doors. Huh? Lavanya's voice made him snap back to reality. He's such a pain in the, head, Jackie corrected himself. I don't know what got into him, Lavanya murmured, still puzzled. He looked happy and hurt at the same time. Gentle yet angry. Jackie scoffed, turning away in jealousy. Yeah, well, thank me that you didn't have to marry him. Lavanya smiled to herself. She already knew how to calm him down and bring him back to his usual lovable self. Most of the guests had left after dinner, while a few close friends and relatives stayed a little longer. It was nearly midnight when Ruhi approached Lavanya. I should leave now, she said. Okay, Ruhi, the driver will drop you. Lavanya reminded her about the cars booked specifically for guests. Yeah, I'll take it, Ruhi nodded. But take Ballroom sir with you, for safety, Lavanya suggested. I'm heading that way too. Mind if I join? James suddenly stepped forward. The moment Ruhi realized he was standing next to her, she immediately gritted her teeth and snapped without looking at him. No. Great, she doesn't mind. Let's go then. James grinned, glancing at Lavanya. Ruhi turned furiously, glaring at him. I meant yes. Oh wow, she's thrilled him joining her. Look at that excitement. James smirked, taunting Ruhi. Volcano. Ruhi was about to erupt when Jackie and Ballroom arrived. Let's go, Miss Ruhi, Ballroom said cheerfully. My yes means I do mind. I won't go with this monkey. Ruhi huffed, crossing her arms. Oh yay, monkey? Me? Ballroom looked offended. Not you, Ballroom. Jackie sighed, rolling his eyes. Ruhi, it's okay. You only have to tolerate him for a short time. Your house is the first stop, remember? Lavanya reminded her. But, Ruhi started to protest, but Lavanya pinched her. Ouch! It's already late. Do you want to go alone? Lavanya whispered urgently. Ruhi hesitated, blinking as she hid her defeat behind her ego. Fine, but I'll sit only with Balram, sir. Balram jerked his head towards Lavanya, his eyes widening. Oye Raba, I tuni kita fasadita mainu, he whispered dramatically. Good night, Lavanya. Have a magical night. Ruhi winked, making her friend blush. Flashing a mischievous grin, she spun on her heels and headed toward the exit. Jackie shook his head at Lavanya's very unusual friend. There's a surprise for you in your room. Thank me later. James leaned in and whispered in Jackie's ear. Then louder he said, Bye, dude. Night-night. I'll see ya. He hugged his friend before striding toward the gate. See you at work, sir. Good night, Bahena. Take care. Ballroom lightly touched both of Lavanya's cheeks. Then, Suddenly realizing something, he gasped. "I have to go, or else those two will drive the poor driver crazy." Without another word, he rushed off. After everyone had left, Jackie, Lavanya, and his parents returned to their duplex. "Whoa, what a tiring evening. I'm completely exhausted," Jacqueline sighed as they stepped into the living room. "Same here. And with our flight tomorrow evening, we should get plenty of sleep," Matt added. He turned to the newlyweds. "Jackie, Lavanya, you two should get some rest as well. All the wedding hustle must have drained you both." "Good night, Matt." "Good night, Mom," Jackie said. "Good night, Jackie."
"Good night, love." Jacqueline hugged the couple. "Good night." Matt patted Jackie's shoulder before kissing Lavanya's forehead. "Sleep well, sweetheart." Lavanya felt overwhelmed by their warmth and affection. "You too," she responded, her voice gentle and sweet. Jacqueline and Matt headed to their room. The moment their door closed, Jackie didn't waste a second before scooping his wife into his arms. "Ah!" Lavanya gasped, caught completely off guard. Without a word, he carried her bridal style up the stairs. "Mr. Dawson, what are you doing? I'll fall. Your parents will hear. What will they think?" she whispered frantically.
"That their son is taking his lawfully wedded wife to his room," he replied nonchalantly. "You want me to suffer? If I fall, my back will hurt. Put me down. I'm really heavy," she whispered loudly. Jackie chuckled. "This is not funny. Put me down," she fumed. "Open." "What?" She frowned in confusion. "Open the door, sweetheart. We're already in front of our room." He nodded toward the door. Lavanya turned her head, surprised to see they had reached so effortlessly. She looked up at Jackie. His smile was already melting her heart. She slowly turned her gaze back to the door, reached for the knob, and pushed it open. Jackie stepped inside, carrying her effortlessly. Gently, he lowered her onto the edge of the bed. "I was already coming here, you know. It's not like I was running away that you had to carry me all the way up." Lavanya huffed. "Well, honestly, I can't trust you on that, Mrs. Lavanya Jackie Dawson." Jackie smirked. "You've always run away from me, never letting me come close. So tonight I'm extra alert. I won't give you any chance to escape." His voice dropped a little as he added, "From now on, your days and nights belong to me." Slowly he leaned in, planting both palms on the bed, one on either side of where Lavanya was sitting. She swallowed hard and instinctively leaned backward as he moved closer. Her heartbeat quickened. She closed her eyes, anticipating his lips on hers. But then, Jackie's gaze landed on something else. A small envelope with a key placed on top of it lay on the bed. Frowning, he paused, and instead of kissing her, reached for the envelope and key. Then, without a word, he sat next to her, opening the letter. Lavanya's eyes fluttered open. Wait. What? She had not been expecting that. For a moment, she felt utterly embarrassed for waiting for him to kiss her. She blinked rapidly, then shot him an annoyed glare. But Jackie was too engrossed in reading. "What's that?" Lavanya asked, her curiosity getting the better of her. Jackie chuckled. "That guy is unbelievable." "Who?" Lavanya frowned. Jackie glanced at his wife's innocent face, then suddenly stood up. "Get your essentials." Lavanya opened her mouth to protest, but he cut her off. "No questions. Just pack your nightwear and needful things. I'll be waiting in the car." He grabbed his own nightwear and a few other necessities before heading out. Pausing at the door, he called out, "Come soon," before disappearing downstairs. Lavanya sat there completely dumbstruck. She had no idea what was happening. "I've been asking you for the last 15 minutes, Mr. Dawson. Where are we going?" she asked again, crossing her arms. "Patience, love. Patience." Jackie grinned, keeping his eyes on the road. "I'm still in this heavy outfit driving around the city in the middle of the night," she grumbled. "With your handsome husband," Jackie added smugly. "Who is not at all romantic," she shot back. "We'll see about that." He smirked, pulling up in front of a 7-star hotel. A valet stepped forward, taking Jackie's car keys as they made their way inside. "You booked a hotel room?" Lavanya guessed. "Here's the key," Open the door, ma'am, Jackie teased, handing her the key as soon as they reached the 5th floor and found their room. Lavagna's lips curled into a small smile as she took the key, unlocking the door. The moment she stepped inside, she realized it wasn't just a hotel room. It was a honeymoon suite. They entered, and the bellboy placed their bags on a side table. Jackie tipped him generously before the man bowed and left. While Lavagna took in the beauty of the suite, Jackie quietly turned and locked the door behind them. "Wow," she breathed, mesmerized by the decor. The entire room exuded romance. A grand round bed sat in the center, draped in sheer white curtains cascading from a top hanger around its edges. White and light pink rose petals were scattered across the bed, the soft dim lights casting a warm glow. A gentle, soothing fragrance filled the air. It was perfect. The soothing and romantic aroma of the room overwhelmed Lavagna. Without thinking, she turned and ran straight toward Jackie, jumping into his arms and wrapping her arms around his neck. Her feet barely touched the ground as Jackie instinctively lifted her up, holding her close. "Wow," Jackie murmured, his husky voice sending shivers down her spine. "This is the best feeling, having you in my arms." Lavagna let out a soft chuckle before pressing a gentle kiss to the side of his neck, right at the tip of his shoulder. Jackie felt the warmth of her lips against his skin and tightened his hold, embracing her even more. "Can I finally kiss you now?" he asked, his voice deep and teasing. Lavagna giggled. She drew back slightly, pouting her lips playfully before shaking her head, deliberately teasing him. Jackie frowned. Now what? Without warning, he dropped her to stand on her own. Lavagna only laughed at his frustration. "You..." Jackie narrowed his eyes, suddenly realizing she was playing with him. Before he could react, Lavagna darted away, running around the room to escape him. Jackie, determined, chased after her. So unfair you are, Mrs. Jackie Dawson," he complained, his voice filled with amusement. Then suddenly, he caught her. Wrapping his arms around her waist from behind, he lifted her effortlessly before tossing them both onto the bed. Their laughter filled the room as they lay there, gazing at each other through the large mirror on the side wall. Slowly the laughter faded, replaced by the sound of their quickening breaths. Jackie lay behind her, his body turned slightly to the side. His gaze never left her reflection. Delicate, beautiful, utterly mesmerizing. It was an intense look, one she was only now learning to understand. As her heart pounded, her eyelids lowered, betraying her nervousness. Jackie reached out, his fingers lightly brushing the fabric of her blouse at her right shoulder, shifting it toward the edge. He ran his fingertips along her exposed skin, sending shivers through her. She inhaled sharply, her breath catching. Lowering his head, he pressed soft kisses from her shoulder up to the curve of her neck. The warmth of his lips against her skin sent a thrilling sensation through her. The places he kissed burned with heat, while the untouched parts of her skin tingled with anticipation. She trembled. She wanted more. Without thinking, she turned and wrapped her arms around him, pulling him closer, feeling every inch of his body against hers. "You can't do this to me every time," she whispered. "Do what?" he murmured, his tone matching hers. "The other night at the welcome party, you insisted on dancing with me. But you tortured me instead, you hurt me, you touched me inappropriately." Jackie exhaled, his voice heavy with guilt. "I'm sorry, love. I know I..." "Shh." Lavagna silenced him, placing her finger over his lips. "You know, you left so many bruises that night," she whispered. "Really? Where?" "Here." She pointed at her forearm. "It's still not fully healed." Jackie smiled softly and placed a lingering kiss on the exact spot. "And here," she pointed at her elbow. He kissed there too. "And here," she gestured to her cheek. Jackie leaned in and kissed her cheek. Then she pointed to her stomach. He trailed his lips just below her belly button, pressing a delicate kiss against her skin. A shiver ran through her. You missed this, she whispered, touching her lips. Jackie smirked before finally claiming her lips in a deep, passionate kiss, his right hand gripping her waist. As the kiss ended, he murmured against her lips, "Is this helping?" "Effectively," she breathed, her eyes still closed. Jackie smirked. "Where else do you have bruises?" "Everywhere," she whispered. With that, Jackie pulled her even closer, his lips finding every inch of her skin. "It's going to be a long night curing you completely, Mrs. Jackie Dawson." "A whole night," she whispered, surrendering herself entirely to her husband, to be healed, cherished, and loved. That night became the most beautiful night they had ever shared. They say East and West can never meet, that they can never truly belong to each other. But that night, in the romantic embrace of an Indian 7-star hotel suite, East became West's, forever. And so East and West stayed together forever and ever and ever. The end. Don't miss the spin-off story of East West, May I Fall in Love with You?